Hello, everybody. How are we doing out there? I am changing the name of the stream right now. To Zilisch streak ends. What is up? What did we think of that race? Hello. I recognize this one. What did we think of that race? In all honesty, I thought it was actually pretty decent, pretty fun. Audio was good. Woohoo! Yeah. We have bloopers, and I even have the right ticker ready to go this week. So we got that. I thought tonight was decent. I thought tonight was actually a decent race. I been better in the past couple of years before. But you know what? There were ebbs and flows. There were some moments that were lower, some that were higher. I'm looking at your guys' scores and looking at 7, 6s, 7, 8, 8, 6.5, 6, 6, 8, 0, 6, 6, 7, 7, 6.56, another 6. There we go. All those. I'm assuming they're showing the points because you guys are like a few minutes ahead of me. So there we go. That's my on-air production meeting as I get to take a picture of the points as we're live because God forbid they show it once they finish the race. But no, in all honesty, like it was tough to pass. And you had some of the same glaring issues you've had in the last couple of years. Truck race, we'll have it probably on overdrive in the cup race. Knock on wood, maybe it gets cold enough that the tires actually fall off. But you saw good amounts of racing at different points, especially first parts of runs, but you saw it late in runs and passes. It takes a while with New Bristol to get past somebody. And I see tough to pass equals mid. But the thing is, it has always been tough to pass at Bristol, even old Bristol. Like, I think people have this glorified view of old Bristol, like it was just anyone could make a move at any point. And it's like, no, there's a reason there were so many cautions because it was tough to pass and you would just see people getting crashed all the time. Not to say that I don't prefer that Bristol, but I'm just making a point. Like that has been Bristol for a while. There's still work to do. The tires for sure need to have some more fall off. I think that it's a little bit overboard, just how far that they can go. I mean, what was it? 70 extra laps. Some of those guys had the 8 that stayed out, and a majority of them got way better finishes than they probably had any business getting. But that is the Bristol. That is the meta. That is the Bristol, I should say, that we're used to at this point. Real quick, I'll read off the points, and then I'll put that on the bottom while we go over the grid or the finishing order of the race. There is Connor Zilisch plus 85. Are we shocked? He had a bunch of laps, won a stage, had a full race gap. I think next week he has to finish I want to say, let's see. I think he has to finish somewhere in the top 15 to clinch the next round halfway through it. It's probably NASCAR's nightmare. They're probably thinking of a way to nerf drivers who actually run well anyway. Allgaier plus 53. Again, very good run tonight. Had a good gap to begin with. I see no reason why that shouldn't be how far up he is. Third, Sam Mayer. One of the, he's calling them the big three. I don't see that personally. I think they're just, there's the big 2 JRM cars and then, the rest, and he leads the rest. But he is up there. Quapple is 4th plus 16. A very, very solid night for him as well in the points. From there, in 5th, plus 9, Harrison Burton plus 9. Those stage points made a huge difference. Good finish tonight as well, as we'll go through in a moment. Just want to point that out as well. Jones plus 8 and Creed plus 7. So they're just a little bit above water as we head on into Kansas for these guys. They have the week off for New Hampshire. And then last one in plus 3 is Taylor Gray. He will be, again, plus 3 over Sanchez and Love. And then 16 back for the big bully in 11th, Austin Hill. And Sammy Smith with the DNF tonight will be 24 points off the pace when it comes to advancing. We'll put that in the bottom. Let's go over the finishing order of this race. Eric Almirola gets the win tonight. And I must remind you, chat, that I picked Eric Almirola this week. So no sweep for anyone because I think Eric got the winner last night. He did with Lane Riggs. So no sweep this week. So I keep my points lead another week. I'm probably going to choke it at the end. After all, I am a Vikings fan. I'm just living, I'm living their life. From there, though, you got Sheldon Creed, his 15th second place finish in Xfinity Series career. My God, man, it's just at some point, he's going to break through and it's going to be glorious to watch. Tonight was not that point. He ends up just about 4/10 off of the win. Sam Mayer, valiant effort, 68 laps led for him, which is, I believe, double the 34 Almirola led. He comes home third. Carson Kvapil, fourth, and fifth, Connor Zilisch. Terrible run for his standards at this point. 98 laps led, but the tire shuffle, pit shuffle, and the 8 cars that stayed out ahead of him on the final restarts, well, that ended up costing him a possible 5th straight victory. Zilisch was right ahead of his teammate, Allgaier, who led 95 laps, finished 6th. He got caught up again, caught behind the tire shuffle. 7th place, though, Harrison Burton. Amazing, amazing finish. The Cinderella story lives on 2 more weeks until we get to Kansas. They did everything possible that they could do right. So great run for him. Christian Eckes, 8th place run. That Kaulig team starting to put a few things together at the end of the year. Something to watch heading into next year. Jeremy Clements with a 9th place run tonight. Another just feel-good finish. And then Brennan Poole, top 10, a good run for him. Brandon Jones, 11th. Dean Thompson in 12th. Sanchez, 13th. Gray, 14th. Sawalich, 15th. Gray and Sawalich ran way better than that all night. And I like the speed I'm seeing out of them right now. Retzlaff in 16th. Corey Day, 17th. Jeb Burton, 18th. Austin Hill, a complete no-show tonight. As y'all call him the big bully, he ends up 19th, and that's about the best he ran tonight. Austin Hill was terrible. And 20th in the 11, Butterbean Queen, lead lap finish, maybe getting set up for that Ram debut next year, just saying. From there, you have Kyle Sieg and Anthony Alfredo, the top 22 being on the lead lap. 1 lap down. First one off the lead lap was Ryan Sieg. Matt DiBenedetto, 24th. 25th was Jesse Love. Then in 26th, Danny Dye and Jeffrey Earnhardt, 27th. 2 laps down for Josh Williams in 28th. Balicki, 4 down in 29th. 4 down for Bearden as well in 30th. 5 laps down for Austin Green in 31st. 32nd was Honeyman. 6 laps off the pace. Carson Ware, 12 laps down, 33rd place finish. And last one on the racetrack, Blaine Perkins, 13 laps down. The rest were out, those being Joey Gase, Stephen Parsons, who had a lot of speed early on, was not able to capitalize on it. Sammy Smith with an engine issue. The 8 blows up like it's 2007. And then Ryan Ellis, 38th place finish on the night. Let's put the finishing order down on the bottom for all y'all watching at home. And I'm surprised by a lot of the calls tonight that a lot of people made. We definitely could tell whether it be the decisions drivers made on track or what the crew chiefs were calling. It just seemed like people overthought tonight a little bit, in my opinion. You saw a few times, like at the end of, I think it was the second stage, where Sam Mayer is battling with Connor Zilisch, and Mayer gives up the top lane to the best car on the racetrack. Just brain dead thinking on that. Almirola almost did that. He did that, I think, in a corner. It was like, oh crap, we better fix this up. Experience won out in that department. You saw those pitting out of track position. Track position is so crucial at the way Bristol is set up now that you can't give it up the way that some of these leaders did tonight. It just, to me, it was not a smart move. And tires did mean something, but it's not like old Bristol where it meant the world. It's not like old Martinsville, I should say, where it meant everything. It was a typical Bristol race from what we've seen in the Xfinity series for like the last, 3-4 years at this point. This is Bristol now. And there's no real other way to really say it, Looking at some of the others, when you look through the way that this thing ran out tonight, it really was JRM's race to lose. the 7 and the 88 were the class of the field, like far and away the class of the field tonight. 98 and 95 laps led. Mayer was close to them, but again, he was not good enough, I think, to really be on them unless it was a long run. That's where Almirola got it. Now I see, cannot pass when everyone runs top. I mean, it's tough to pass. It is. It is super tough to pass the longer these runs go on. And fair point, desperation, a lot of people staying out, trying different things, and that's where the 19 won. I mean, they had brought it up that they had watched Noah Gragson win that way. And that was a smart move. And especially with the amount, I think if there were only 2 or 3 behind him that stayed out, that was a bad move. I think that was a bad move. But if 8 stay out, it's going to be really difficult because you get them all bogged down in the restart too, and you let 1 or 2 of those guys run off like they did. Now, like I said, the one was rolling the bottom, but let's also not pretend that he was doing that against the best. A lot of them were cars either that weren't as good, tires weren't on the same same level. And when you go 70, 80 laps and then you go longer into the run, sure, the tires then start to matter more. But it just tonight, making the boring decisions and just staying on course the way that the 19 did, that was what was going to win you tonight. That's what wins Bristol now. And that's not just Xfinity. It's not just Cup. It's not just trucks. It's Bristol in general. ARCA is probably going to be the best race of the weekend. Let's be real here. That's probably because a lot of them are just more inexperienced. It's frustrating. It is. Like I thought it still was a decent race because there was that ebb and flow of different passing, especially early in the runs. And I think the racing between the 88 and the 7, the 41 was really fun at different parts of this. But at the end of the day, once teams got it figured out, once experienced drivers like Eric Almirola got it figured out, it was pretty damn simple to watch. It was pretty simple to call in a lot of ways. And yeah, I mean, stage yellows probably ruined that too. I think the longer you go into a run, Connor Zilisch probably runs his stuff out. Allgaier and Almirola get better. Maybe Mayer, there would have been more of those ebbs and flows, but Bristol in general, it does not matter to me what series. It takes 50, 60, 80, 100 laps to actually have something start up. And at that point, you can't get those long runs anymore. Not to that level that you would need the way Bristol is today and the way these cars race on Bristol today. Let's see. Give me back my alleged 36-degree banking. I'm pretty sure Ryan Newman ended up disproving that actually, which is kind of funny. I think he said it was something like 29 or 31 or something, but it wasn't 36. Yeah, the alleged part is perfect, and I know why you put it in there. Looking at some of the different points of talking tonight, Sammy Smith with that engine issue. I'm sorry, he's done. He's done. I clip this if you want. Call me stupid in 2 or 3 weeks if he ends up winning, but 24 points out right now. I think Love and Hill will outrun him. I think Sanchez can. I think Gray has enough speed right now to outrun him. Same with Creed and Jones. Maybe Harrison Burton with I think it's like a 33-point lead on him right now. Sammy Smith needs, Duke Chronic says it right. Sammy Smith needs a win, and his only win was off a DQ. So I don't see it. I don't see the pathway forward for him. And you look at some of the others too. Allgaier, Zilisch are way ahead. Mayer's way ahead. Quapple's way ahead. Brandon Jones, Kansas is one of his best tracks. I was there watching him win at Kansas, I don't know how many years ago. So I don't see the 8 making it further. He had to have a perfect race tonight, top 10 level. He had to have the race Harrison Burton had tonight, and he didn't. So I don't see that. And 55 laps in this race, smoking out of the race, I think out of contention. I maybe they make a desperate move in the next 2 races or something. I don't see it personally. You had other smaller spins like Kyle Sieg and Ryan Ellis had one. I think Corey Day had one with Stephen Parsons, which Parsons I think had, again, top 15 speed, looked pretty good, especially when you look at the car he had. But getting caught up in that Just didn't matter. The other point of it, though, like I talked about, when that caution happened between Day and Parsons, the 25 and I want to say the 41 and maybe one or two others stayed out. And Harrison Burton and Sam Mayer get 8 and 7 stage points respectively. Those 8 for the 25 is damn near the difference for him being in or tied +1 right on that line. And that can make a huge difference, especially if he's able to stay out of trouble the next two races. Mayer, on the other hand, with the 7 there and the 9 in the second one, that is a huge difference there. So big points for them there. Love with much needed points as well. 5th in the first stage. Gray 7th in the second stage. Quapple running up there. Like these will be important because with the Xfinity series the way it is, chaos reigns supreme in a lot of these races. So you need to build up those buffers where you can. Great and smart call by the 25 and that whole team. I mean, that team is a little team that could. And I think if they're able to just put together races like this, where like they get 4 or 5 stage points at Kansas in the top 10, and then is it the Roval, I believe, right after that? If they get a decent finish at the Roval and stay out for the stage point side of it and get, top 5 in 1 or 2 of those, yeah, he makes it. He makes it to the final 4 races of the season in contention. And with Talladega there and him and being able to run pretty damn well at super speedways, anything could happen. I'm not saying it's likely, but I'm saying the possibility of the 25 making it that far, if they are able to have a good Kansas and Roval, is much better than a non-zero chance. And I would love it. I would absolutely love it, especially with all the discourse about the playoff format and all that. And y'all know where I stand on it. I would absolutely love that because we all know that he has no business being around the likes of Justin Allgaier and Connor Zilisch and Sam Mayer and even the likes of Quapple and Creed and all of them. It's been a great season. I would love to see it just for the absolute craziness of it. And yeah, Harrison Burton turns left. We're quoting Jeff right now. I swear, Jeff Burton pointing out the obvious. NASCAR drivers turn left. The second stage was more chill, I would say. Not as much happened. There was that really good race between the 88 and the 41 where the 41 just mind-numbingly bad decision. Gives up. Well, no, I see that was Rick Allen. I'm sorry. If you have not been listening, though, Jeff Burton says the same damn thing all the time. Seriously. I know that Rick Allen said it, but listen to every broadcast. Jeff Burton's like, and then he goes and he turns left. Like, if you have not heard Jeff Burton saying that, you were willfully not hearing it at this point. He says it all the damn time. If you can make a drinking game out of it, and you'll be plastered by the end of stage 2. Now that one, problems. That's a Rick Allen one, though. I miss Rick Allen. I would totally take Rick Allen in the Truck Series or Eric Brennan at this point. The only thing that I have to say about stage 2, and I know a lot of y'all really noticed this too, is that they really screwed up the audio in this race for like half the race. They had like the backstretch audio on only. I love CW. I think they've actually been really, really decent this year, but the audio issues have been and I know it's ironic hearing that from me. But the audio issues for CW this year have been not good. And I think this far in, I think it's the statute of limitation of when we can really start criticizing some of these errors has passed. They need to fix the audio. This is like every other race. They have something happen where it messes up. I know that's NASCAR Productions and not CW. CW needs to fix getting the damn races shown in Detroit every week, among other markets. And they said they were going to get it on the app by the middle of the summer, and that never happened. And I've sent stuff, to them. I know others have, whether it be the email that you can or the social media side of it. I really like what they've done so far, and I think it's a great basis to build off of. But they really need to. I don't think they're going to finish it or fix it by the end of the season. So during the off season, I think that needs to be their number one thing: is get it to more people, get it on the app, and fix these kind of errors. They're going to be NASCAR's going to have tests over the off season. They definitely will have the opportunity to test and make sure that they can get those things right. I will say I really like seeing Eric on it. And I know he put out a post, but I know some of y'all didn't see that Eric was going to be on there. And I'd be cool seeing Eric on TV. I think he could do better than half of these schmucks on TV at this point. Granted, it was one segment, but I've been a co-host with Eric for 8 years now, and he's got what it takes. So I'd absolutely love that. Put him as like the pre-race and then pit road for the trucks, and he'd probably do pretty damn well. The pit reporters aren't the problem in the trucks. And yeah, he was on TV. It was in the pre-race show for the Tennessee Foundation. NWP booth win. I mean, I'd be down to commentate. I'm no John Ramos or Eric Brennan, but I feel like I could hold my own. I probably am wrong about that. I've done pit reporting before. I've not been in the booth for like an actual professional race before, though. Going to the final stage, there were, again, it's typical Bristol, just little spins, little things here and there. There was, Danny Dye spun. Carson Ware got sent off Sam Mayer's bumper. That's like another thing that like every couple races, Sam Mayer sends somebody. I love Sam, man. Sometimes he goes that far with him, man. He just goes overboard sometimes. And that caution was where you saw those 8 stay out. That was the difference. Eric Almirola staying out under that caution won him this race, because you had other smaller cautions and different things. You had 3 and 4 wide racing. The restarts are really fun, especially when the drivers just say, F it, we ball. Absolutely love that. But at that point, Almirola had this race in the bag. Smart move. Smart moves win races. And I think a lot of these Xfinity guys, whether it be crew chiefs or drivers, they are going to, I think, remember this one. I would assume they would, because under normal circumstances, with tires that fall off and a track that's decent instead of what Bristol is now, he would not have won. Like, he would not have won this thing. So just saying. Let's see. Let's see. Fox's first option to replace Jamie Little will be to make Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour podcast host the booth. I mean, if NASCAR has something to say, I mean, they got the number one show on that show. So, he'd probably be, he'd be positive. That's for sure. I want Eric Brennan on there. As fun as it is to be like, oh, maybe we can have like, this person or this person. Like, I think he's the realistic one, and get him and get Phil Parsons and then Trevor Bayne. Eric Brennan, Phil Parsons, Trevor Bayne in the truck booth, and I think you're set. I think that'd be a really solid booth. That's just me. Get Mikey out of there, man. Like, I don't need Mikey in there. No, but I mean, overall, I thought it was better. I thought it was much better in the truck race. Still probably not up to the standards a lot of people have for Bristol. Totally get that. Super chat side, I saw we had a member chat for 22 months from Ross Crash Stain. We'll do our quick super chat cooldown lap. Says, is Connor okay? P5 is uncharacteristic for the 88. I don't know, man. He might not be able to recover from this. Just saying. He might not be able to. That's rough. That's like his worst finish in like 10 weeks or something. 5th. Jesus Christ, man. This is absolutely insane. And then where'd it go? There it is. Scott McNew says, pretty fun race tonight. Sure hope tomorrow will be decent, but I don't have high hopes. I'm kind of right there with you, man. I don't have high hopes for tomorrow either. I saw the wear in practice and qualifying and all that, and it was minimal at best. Now, weather-wise, it's supposedly it's supposed to get into the 60s. I'll let you know, like, and probably right after this too, even with it being dark out, I'll get a flashlight, one of those flashlight bands, and I go running at night now just because it feels better than when it's super humid in Tennessee this time of year, because this time of year it still can get up to like 100 in Tennessee. It's been nice recently. It's been decent enough. Now it'll be roughly, it's 61 degrees in Bristol right now. which should be right around that range, or maybe if the tires have a similar reaction they had in the spring last year, maybe we could get that. But I'm not banking on it because I've been getting told over and over again, we got it fixed. We got it fixed. We got it fixed. And every damn time we don't got it fixed, guys. I don't blame Goodyear either. I blame this, in my opinion, what Bristol is now, a mediocre track and a shit car. I don't blame Goodyear because they've been pulling out all the stops. Looking at, the next 48 hours for Bristol. Tomorrow when they go green, it'll be about 75, and it'll be about 65 to 64 when they have the checkers. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get that kind of race. I hope we do, knock on wood. I hope we do. If we do, I will be very happy heading into tomorrow night's post-race show, which we will be live right after the race. But I don't think so, unfortunately. Justin Drake says, how confident are we that the Cup race will be the worst race of the weekend? There's a problem with the car on this track when even AJ pull my finger, Allmendinger, wins the pole on anything other than the occasional road course. Yeah, it's first pole in 10 years. Sorry, I'm gonna put you off here just so I don't have to be like this the whole time. I'm pretty confident it's gonna be. I think at least with Larson not starting on the pole, it'll be interesting to see him move forward, but I think it's probably going to be the worst race, one of the worst races of the year. I don't know if it'll hit the spring race levels. Maybe, I feel like we're going to see some craziness because there's desperation and people, try and do some kind of dive bomb, but I'm not very confident, unfortunately. I hope. I would love to be proven wrong. I've been proven wrong a lot this year. Look at my prediction percentage on the podcast. I have been wrong a lot this year. I'm the first person to say I've been wrong a lot. But I feel bad. I don't think I'm going to be wrong on this one. Let's see. Kayshawn says JRM confused ECR engines with Hendrick engines. That's pretty good. You have to think that they're probably trying something different, or maybe it was just some random failure. Kind of looked like a 2007 DEI number 8 engine, though. If you're around back then, But hey, either way, a night with a bad NASCAR race is better than a good night with no NASCAR race. I still love watching NASCAR, even if it's not the greatest. No matter what, it's still fun. And we still have a fun community to come back to and hang out with after. So we'll be live tomorrow after that race. Cannot wait. Should be at least a lot of fun talking with y'all. Knock on wood, maybe it'll be a good race. Just saying. But let's hope. Justin Drake says petition to bring Bristol Night Race back to the middle of August date. I was at the last one in the middle of August and the first one in September. I got to say that 2019 Bristol Night Race was electric. And it would probably help attendance because it wouldn't be against Tennessee football. As much as I'm not a fan of the Vols, not really a fan of college football in general, I fully understand that Tennessee Volunteers football is the number one religion in the state of Tennessee, and there's no way that they're going to miss Rocky Top for Bristol Night Race these days. I'd be totally for it personally. Have Bristol. This would be cool. Actually, you got me thinking of something fun now. This would be cool. Have the Bristol Night Race lead into Daytona. 2 Saturday night races back to back. Maybe if you fix the car, you have a like that's like if you have a really, really good setup and you get it back to way even it was in 2019, and then you lead that into Daytona, hype, man. Those would be the best 2 nights in a 2 Saturday night races you could have back to back. They'd probably be the last 2 Saturday night races of the season too. You wouldn't want to miss them. I'd be down for it. Maybe, even because Kevin Harvick, I know, talked about the ratings and stuff, make it a Sunday night race. I'd be cool with it. Whatever you have to do to make the Bristol Night Race great again, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I want, I want Bristol to be great. I don't care what track you put in there. Put Michigan in there. It has really good racing these days. put Watkins Glen back in. If you're not gonna leave it in August, you're gonna move it to frickin' May. Put Watkins Glen back in the playoffs, and then make the Roval the Charlotte Oval. I know this is pie in the sky stuff because I'm just a random dude bitching on the internet into his microphone, but I'd be a-okay with any of those options. I'd love that, but I'm just a fan. Hopefully, maybe somebody's listening. Stay positive, man. Stay positive. We got to stay positive about it. As bad as things might be here or there or whatever with different storylines, you gotta keep your head up. And sometimes it's easy not to, but as long as I've watched NASCAR, and I've said it before, as long as I've watched NASCAR, one of the things I have always seen most is that as the lowest it feels, like that low moment when it just feels like the sport's just going into the toilet and nothing can go right, we end up getting some really great stuff out of it. So, knock on wood, maybe I think the best is ahead. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I'll see you tomorrow night. Y'all have a great rest of your Friday night. Almost said Saturday, Friday night. And I'll see you then. Later, y'all.